So all I've put into this now is sesame seeds. Didn't put any almonds in it. Some pumpkin seed. Some spinach. I did put a banana in it. Actually, it was a much more ripe banana. That one. The riper the banana, the sweeter it tastes. I put in some dates, or some figs, in that one. This is why I make it first and then some porridge oats and some linseed or flaxseed, say big. And that was it. Yes, that was all I put into it. So just 2 tablespoons of porridge oats, then a tablespoon of sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, and linseed. I grind it first. You have to grind the linseed because the body won't digest it. So you have to grind that first anyway. So I just grind all that, then added in the carrot. I knew there was a carrot. I just chopped it up, small chunks, threw a carrot in, and a banana. You can use half a banana if you want. If you want to be a little sweeter, add a little bit of honey or more figs or dried fruit. Because there's no actual honey in that, it's just dried fruit that's in it. So if anyone got any crunchy bits, it was probably a fig. Now I can make it again, but if you've all tasted it, there's probably no point in making it again. Will I make a second one then?
No, you're grand.
Okay. We'll come back to it. So next thing I'm actually going to make is the bread. So I'm just going to make, this is my recipe that I use. The recipe I use for a simple white loaf or pizza dough. Same recipe, there's nothing different. So it's just dry yeast, flour, salt, a bit of oil. Depending on what oil you want to use. If you want to use enough oil, you get a nutty flavour bread. It's up to you. And water, which I'll grab in a second. And that's it. I knew I was going to forget my scale, so. It's about 500 grams of flour. But I don't have my scales with me because I forgot it because I'm bringing everything else. So it's about 4 or 5 cups of flour. So it's the way that goes. So 3 cups, about 500 grams of flour, so it's meant to go into it, about 3 cups. Flour, roughly about the same. 1 sachet of bread yeast. I always thought I was gluten intolerant. Because every time I'd eat 1 slice of white bread, I just feel like I get really bloated very, very quickly. Until I started to try it, I said I'd make my own bread to see what happens, and I didn't get bloated. So I reckon it's probably the preservatives in the bread. If you look at the ingredients list on the bread, you'll see a massive list of stuff on it, whereas this is 5. And you can spell everything on it. So. About a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. See people looking in there over the window, rather than coming in, say hello.
They look very confused if you will do.
So it's about 50 mils of oil, which is about an egg cup, roughly is about 50 mils. There. And 350 mils of water. You can use the exact measurements. I'm going to add those in there. So 1.5 cups of water. Man. Get all that in camera. Just one, yeah. Because yeast will multiply anyway. So activated.
That's just normal flour, is it?
So it's a strong white flour.
Okay.
I've got a packet with me. The reason it's strong white flour is because of the higher protein content in it,
Okay.
which means it'll actually be more, it'll allow it to be a bit more elastic. And you knead it then for about 10 minutes, just till it gets a little more elastic. I'm just going to get all this to stick together. I might actually use this countertop instead of the table because the table's really wobbly. I'll bring it out here. So just basically just squashing it down on top of itself. Is the easiest way to do it. And then as soon as it gets a little sticky, more flour on top.
Will you make some bread to me?
What's really nice with this when you make your own bread, if you add a teaspoon or tablespoon of pesto, or red pepper pesto, or sun-dried tomatoes, anything, just put it in instead of some of the, like if it's pesto, just add it in instead of some of the oil, because otherwise it just gets a bit too oily. And it won't rise the same way. So once you have the bread done, just leave it in the bowl for about an hour and a half, depending on the temperature of the room. Hour and a half to 2 hours so it doubles in size. And that's it. You put it then in a 2-pound loaf tin, or chop it into 12 to make little scones. Again, just leave them rise a little bit further and then throw it in the oven. 180 degrees, or 220 for the first 15 minutes, and then 200 for the last 25. That's exactly what it is in my oven at home. Roughly that'll be about the same, but just try it and see how it works for you. So all I'm going to put into this is a clove of garlic, which you use too if you want. You don't really need to chop it up, but I'm just going to take the skin off it. Clove of garlic. Another cup. About 3 cups. You're going to use about half the water from the chickpeas in it, rather than adding water or anything else to it. I don't believe in saying, here's one I made earlier, because that defeats the purpose. I want you guys to see how you do this. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Normally it's used tahini paste, but I'm using sesame oil instead. Because sometimes when you buy tahini paste, it's a very short window in which you can use it because it goes off within a week. Some of it lasts months, others a week, but sesame oil will do the job. 2 tablespoons of that. And about 1 of oil. So extra virgin olive oil, another nut oil, whichever you want. And about half the water from the chickpeas. And we don't want smoothie on our chickpeas. Here again, you can add your own, you can add some pesto. If you roast the red pepper, just put it in the oven, roast it for about 20 minutes, half an hour. The skin will go black, which just makes it easy to peel off. You can throw that straight in as well. Here's our hummus. That's how easy hummus is. Okay, next thing I'm going to make is part of the lunch for this week was to make a salad, a kale salad. Y'all see the recipe online? So I'm going to make just a simple kale salad. But all I'm going to show you is it's just the dressing part of it. Because it's very, very simple. So all you're going to do when you get your kale, just ripping off the leaves to little bite-sized pieces. I used to make a mustard dressing, but then you can't really taste the mustard, or if you do try to eat the mustard, it's like dipping a carrot into it, you get a lot of that dressing. It's a bit too much. The stalks you can eat if you want, but they're just hard going. But easy, you can put them into a juice, or into a smoothie, and then this right there. The reason I would tend to encourage people not to go with juices is because you lose about 15% of the vitamins and minerals and 95% of the fibre when you juice. So I'm going to rip these up and you're going to get to taste it down a second. So about, you're talking 1.5 cups, 2 cups is enough per person. This could go everywhere, it's not a bowl, but you will see what happens. Tablespoon of cider vinegar. 1 of oil. teaspoon of honey, which I do have. Somebody else is going to wash up and get all the points for washing. A teaspoon of honey.
And the honey is that?
This is just it's an organic set honey. You could use any honey really. The fact that it's a big lump doesn't matter because you're going to get your hands into it and massage it. Hope it doesn't go everywhere. With the likes of kale, because kale doesn't taste of a huge amount. If you don't actually get your fingers in it and massage it to get the dressing into all of it, you won't actually taste any of the dressing. So I'm going to leave that for a second before I get to the taste it, because it allows the acids from the cider vinegar to actually break down the kale a little bit more. So it makes it a little bit more chewable. Cinnamon, no cayenne pepper in this one. Almonds, nibbled almonds, porridge oats, some flour, some linseed, some sesame seeds. Just lining all these up for effect. Some oil. I do use the golden syrup, and I use this one mainly because it's so easy to pour, and it makes it easier to actually mix. I've used the little jar one to pop the lid out of. It's much more difficult to mix. So I'm wondering what it is to make it easy, but for demonstration purposes, it's easy to use that one. And pumpkin seeds, and that's it. So this is more or less it. Then water with our, sorry, it's oil and honey is the liquid you're going to use. So all I'm going to use is a cup. Add some flour in it. I'm really going through all your spoons. So half a cup of flour. Again, you get all these recipes anyway, so you don't have to write them all down. And this is the one you've just taken. About half a cup of flour. Just about the way down. 2 cups of porridge oats. Almonds, half a cup sesame seeds. There's normally half a cup of sunflower seeds as well. I haven't been able to find them for the last month. I don't know why. I haven't been going to the shop. There's been none.
Sunflower?
Yeah. Oh, is there just a shortage somewhere? But haven't any. Half a cup sesame seeds. The one important thing with this is some recipes will have dried fruit in it. I wouldn't put dried fruit in it till after you've cooked it, because the dried fruit can just dry out even further. And then become bitter. So give this a rinse. The other thing people sometimes will do, because I'm going to put pumpkin seeds in it. I'm not a big fan of chewing on pumpkin seeds, because I find it can take ages to chew. So I'm going to just bits them with the linseed. So it's half a cup of both of them, which I'm going to just grind again. Linseed. Obviously, exact measurements is key to this recipe. And then half a cup of pumpkin seeds. And then half of flour. Line that up. Not done. This isn't an advertisement for NutriBullet. I know people have got the Ninja. The Ninja. I don't know, the Ninja Bullet or something. But it's much cheaper and does the exact same job. So you're really just looking for the power out of it. So it's about half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Sorry, about a teaspoon of nutmeg. Like that. And a tablespoon of cinnamon. But if you like cinnamon, feel free to add more.
Do they do anything only except taste the nutmeg and cinnamon?
No, well the cinnamon improves circulation. can help improve circulation in the body. Nutmeg, I'm pretty sure it's just flavour. There's probably some special properties out of it, but I'm going to let you smell this before I put the oil and honey in it. You're probably just going to mainly cinnamon. The important thing with this recipe is to make sure that you actually, the whole lot of it is wet, so there's no dry bits in it because they'll just burn quicker than that. So it's about half a cup of oil. I'm using rapeseed oil. But again, if you want to use a nut oil or a mixture of oils, feel free to do so. And the other half, honey. When I first gave this recipe to someone and they put in 2 tablespoons of honey, and they were wondering why it was so bitter. There you go. Again, the Nutella jars, everything is just made easier. It tastes better with Nutella, but. Literally just mix that. So that goes into the oven then at about 180 degrees for 40 minutes. But every 10 minutes, just take it out, or even 8 minutes. Take it out, break it up. If you want a bar, I would tend to just add a banana to help bind it together a little bit better. And don't break it up in the oven. I just put it into a baking tray, so it's not really thick. Baking tray, basically just trying it out. And that's it then. It's really good with some Greek yogurt, a couple of dried fruit. Put the dried fruit in afterwards, or just put the dried fruit in as you're about to eat it. So I would normally do. Flapjack recipe is just banana, oats, and any dried fruit that you want to put into it. With dried fruit, if you are going to bake with dried fruit, I'd recommend soaking it in either some hot water for 15-20 minutes, or just overnight. That just allows it to reabsorb some water, so when it comes to actually baking it, and it dries out again, it just goes back to being a normal dried piece of fruit as opposed to a bitter piece of fruit. So, about 150 grams of flour, of porridge oats. Definitely had another cup.
In front of the bowl there.
There is one for the 150 grams, which is about 3 cups. It wouldn't be 3 cups, about 1.5 cups of porridge oats. Yeah, it might go 2. These are relatively small. So now you're going to get your banana, and again, the riper the banana is better. Mash it up. And that goes in. Using a fork, they're all just mixed together. And just before it's fully bound, you add about 2 tablespoons of oil. Again, this goes in the oven then for about 15-20 minutes at 180 degrees. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil now. Really do a lot of oil. Yeah.
You have a dishwasher.
Ah, brilliant. I use way more than that. Now there is, so I've been washing stuff there for maybe 3-minute cycle. Once you've actually gone and made this, you can add 50 grams of brown dark sugar, but you don't necessarily need to, depending on how much sweetness you need in your flapjacks. And this goes into about a 20 centimeter baking tray. Now this is the smell of banana. The one thing I like when you do cook with banana, interestingly, after about 2 to 3 days after it's been baked, that flavour of banana seems to disappear. Don't ask why, I don't quite know the science behind it. And once you've done that, I haven't dried these, I haven't added these to water, but about 50 grams, which is going to be about half that cup, I'd say, of nut or dry fruit. You can eat any dry fruit you want. Doesn't have to be raisins. You can use chop up an apricot, but just sort of small little bite-sized pieces. You probably only smell banana in that. But